What's up, guys? Welcome to Fight for Your Life. It's December 7th, and we're going to talk about something today that is not really talked about. We all talk about 9/11, right? It's a very horrible day, one of the worst days ever in America's history. What came first? Well, and be like, what do you mean, what came first? Before that, what was our tragedy? All right, what we're talking about today is Pearl Harbor. And more or less how it impacted somebody that was and is very, very important to me, and one of the reasons why I am who I am, why the reason I'm here helping y'all, help myself, being there for each other, I guess, just caring, and that's persons who taught me that. And we're talking about my grandma. I was raised by my dad and my grandma. Seventh generation farm, raised with nothing but pride in myself, my country, my family. And I'd hear stories. I can tell you guys, we'd talk about Pearl Harbor. And it seemed to really impact Grandma, well, obviously. But what was happening was they lived in an apartment at the time. They had a radio. They didn't have TVs, didn't have all that crap. A radio was a big deal. A big deal. So their friends would come over and they'd have little dances just at their apartments on Friday, Saturday nights. That was the big thing. Going over to a friend's house and just partying, listening to the radio, not getting too crazy, laughing, dancing. That's cool. But anyways, I remember her saying that she remembered when they found out the public service announcement. Well then, oh God, imagine what that sounded like. That the attack had happened. And she knew that her life and her friends' lives were never going to be the same. And what happened after that is just a story I love. All the men, we live in a small town upstate New York. More country part of New York. Yes, there's country part of New York, people. I've never been to the city. I live about 7 hours. All right, north? I don't know. I live closer to Canada, trust me. I'm about an hour, 2 hours away from Toronto. But anyways, very small town. My grandfather owned the laundromat, or owned the town hardware, the laundromat and all that, but I believe this was before that. Anyways, it was Mayberry. That was it. When all the boys, as my grandma would say, went off to war, and they all did, not one had any hesitation about it. And this just shows the strength of Americans, son. She put my aunt in what they used as a car seat back then. I think it was just a glorified picnic basket. But she put my aunt in the car seat, in the front seat of the family coal truck from her maiden side. And she drove coal while the boys went to war. All the women around town took up working for the men, doing the farming, doing all that. You don't see that American pride anymore, people. The only time I've seen American love like that personally was right after September 11th. But anyways, and with that, my grandmother, who was a run-room schoolhouse, or a teacher, way before any of this. We're talking when she met my grandpa, she quit her job, moved in with him, married, and that was it. She worked with the family business. And I can't tell you, I don't see people that strong anymore. My grandma, I could go on here for hours and hours and hours and hours telling you about how great she was. I never saw that woman looking disheveled. Never. And I'd wake her up when I was a kid. 7 o'clock in the morning, she'd get up, and she'd dress up every day. Whether she was just going to sit in her chair because age took to her knees. She had double knee replacement in both her knees, and this is back in the 80s, so yeah. Couldn't move much. And it's hard to explain, and but what she's taught me, I guess I don't know where I'm going with this now. I feel like Cowboy Cerrone. Hey, I get that, man. I love my grandma. My grandma's my everything, or all was, and she's taught me strength and look at things differently. And with that, And when I got hurt, I was looking for a reason why it happened. I was looking for a reason why at 2 years sober, I couldn't work anymore. I could do less than I did when I was in the full thrills of my alcoholism. And not, trust me, there was no thrills about it. But when I was out there drinking, drinking like crazy. But what she taught me, when I got hurt, and I couldn't describe, I didn't know why. Anyways, the only thing I can and I look back and I justify this now, and I'll tell you what, it is a hell of a reason to lose feeling. And if I had to lose feeling in my right side for anything, I'm glad I got this moment out of it. Her 95th birthday, her 95th birthday, we were going to have a little party for her, just my dad and my aunt, taking it into the nursing home where she'd been. She got Alzheimer's. Hold on one second. Alzheimer's is the worst thing ever. I don't know. I guess that's just my opinion. Of course, cancer, everything's worse, but with Alzheimer's, man, it was hell. But anyways, we went in there, and I almost didn't go because I was in a lot of pain that day. I couldn't really move. It's very self-conscious about my looks, and my body, the way I moved, and I almost didn't go, but I did. And it was a very, very nice time. And as we were leaving, I remember looking at her and I said, "Grandma, I love you." The fight's real, my friends. I said, "Grandma, I love you." And the Alzheimer's taken pretty much everything from her. She looked at me and she said, "I like that." And I'll tell you what, guys, it's worth it. Still to this day, she passed away a week later. And I'm just so thankful. I know she passed away, I believe, on December 11th. She made 95, though. She would have been 101 last week. And you just don't see people like her. We got a little picture here. Shows a sense of humor. That's me and her. We were a tag team. She would have, and she let me put my little Hulk Hogan pictures all over her desk that was next to her chair. She had a lot of stuff there. She didn't move a lot, so her desk had everything next to her chair. But right so everyone could see. All of her little old proper lady friends would always see that picture of Hulk Hogan I gave her that she was so proud of. And my Master Splinter Ninja Turtles, oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, my Master Splinter Ninja Turtles action figure. She loved that. She liked the way he was dressed and liked the way he taught the Ninja Turtles right and wrong. And she put that out there. God. And she liked Mr. Perfect just because of the suits he wore. She thought that was very nice. But she didn't like his attitude. But what I'm saying is, guys, look at our grandparents. Look to the past. Look at the generation. They're the ones that are going to guide us. They're the ones going to teach us strength. And if we feel they're being too harsh on us, dude, look at the crap they lived through. We ain't seen any of that. We want something, we go to the store and we get it. These people been through the Depression. These people got fired up because somebody came out of nowhere and attacked their way of life, and the whole goddamn country bound together instead of finding ways to be different. All right, now you're getting a little crazy Ray out of me because this is a very passionate thing, but today all we see is hate and judgment. That's not how America is. That's not how America's going to fucking work. We got to focus on each other. This is not a political episode. I do not get into politics. I believe politics is just like everybody's fate. What you believe in is your God-given right, and I support whatever you believe in if that makes you happy as an American or as a person, human being. We got to learn from the past, guys. And it's not always pleasant. It's hard, especially if you look back at the way they lived back then. We can do it. And on this, I'm going to leave, I guess I'll end this now, and I'll leave it with a word Grandma used to say. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And yes, 2 negatives equal all that crap, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. Do the next right thing. Be a good person. Follow your heart. Follow your God, your higher power. You're going to be great, guys. All right? Take it easy. Later. Fight for your life.